Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, joining you from rainy Tobago.
Good evening. Catherine, I thought you wouldn't be on tonight. I was like, oh my gosh, nobody came up
Girl,
tonight.
and this is going to happen. What? Did I put my phone in the sea? I'm a books and everything in
Oh,
Tobago
you
here in
took
me.
everything.
Everything is here.
All right. But I thought I was late. I was like, oh my gosh.
You are not. You are not.
That's,
So, I have a question for everyone to start tonight's session. What is something that you struggle with this week?
I think for me,
What?
I was working at another location. I was doing some training.
Mm-hmm.
And, they make a schedule for us for the week. And then when I looked at my schedule, I was like, with my boss, like, how could you schedule this? I don't have time to do this. I don't have. And then it's like, I woke up this morning. Of course, you went into that little stress. Oh my gosh, I have to go back and I have to. And then I just was like, you're right here, right now. It's going to work out. And today ended up being like really cool, but
Mm-hmm.
like you put so much into like, why they did this? How they did this? How could she not? And then just go with the flow, and it end up just working out to be like easy peasy.
Okay. Well, that is good because in those moments, you recognize you're getting the opportunity to really practice what you are learning, and you're also recognizing that the things that you're stressing over, it no longer required, it's not even necessary anymore moving forward. Or I don't even know if you have noticed that it is not even required moving forward, because sometimes you're still caught up in the feelings and the emotions and the stress and the anxiety that you don't even recognize, sending my body into that space and that state. It's not necessary. It really not necessary. But sometimes again, you don't even realize how much things have changed and even how much your responses to things have changed. And you think that you're still in the same space, but you're really no longer in that space.
I think for me, the realization was that even though I get into that space, one, I could recognize that I'm in that space.
Mm-hmm.
And two, I am able to work myself out of
Yes,
staying in that space.
yes. That is what is important. That is what is truly important. Would anyone else like to share? And for those who have just joined, the question is, what did you struggle with this week?
Well, for me, it was a question of remaining in the present
Mm-hmm.
and not going into the future because we have a project, and I had to remember that it is only my mind that does not know what is going on. Everything else knows. Universe knows, soul knows, everything. Just the curious mind. And to remember that anxiety is not required in the journey.
Mm-hmm.
And so when the thoughts would come,
Mm-hmm.
I had to remind myself, remember, this is already complete, it's already done.
Yes.
You just, it's like you knowing something is there and you're just walking towards it. So, but if you introduce anxiety, you will send it off track.
Mm-hmm.
So over the weekend, normally you would want to pray about this and pray about that. Even that thought I had to say, well, okay, fine, you could have a prayer, but your prayer must not be begging in desperation. It must be thank you. It must be acknowledging that this thing has already occurred. And if you want a wonderful week, you're going to have an amazing flight. The weather is going to be great. It's already so. The pilot is going to be good. And so, along every step of the way, and we did have a very uneventful flight.
Mm-hmm.
We landed safely. History hit the ground a little hard. Um, and everything else was just you literally just stepping into. So I think for me, this last week was to just stay present and know that anxiety is not required. So even if you cannot see with your two eyes because you're accustomed operating in that space of you have to know everything and everything has to be plotted out, then it's to remind yourself that yes, everything is already plotted out. It's not you have to plot it out. You just have to stay where it is so that you don't end up on one street and what you need is way up the block. So that was my challenge. I think I'm doing, I'll give myself a little 85. I need to get a little 100. I want to get to the point where I don't have to keep reminding myself.
Understood. Understood. So, good evening, everyone. We were just discussing something that for this week you were struggling with a little bit. So, would anyone else like to share what is something that they struggled with this week? Or did you not struggle this week and you had a good week? Anastasia, are you there?
Tonight,
Okay.
yes, tonight, yes. My situation was similar to Katrina,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember last night having a discussion with my daughter and I telling her, I say, when I look back at my life, right through my life in a situation, and you want to know when it will end, when you will get the answer, and all the answers came, all the situations got sorted out. So, okay, at this stage of your life now, and you still have things that you're wondering about, how it will turn out when the answer will come. And then I say to myself, okay, everything worked out in the past. The answers came, everything worked out. So it's the same thing going to happen now. So you can just cool yourself, relax, and just go with the flow. Learn to go with the flow and enjoy the journey while it's flowing. You know?
Yes.
So that yes, that was my situation this week. Having to settle myself and know that
Okay. So for all the answers so far, I don't know if you all noticed that the answers are the same because everybody have realized that what is important is staying in the present moment and not returning to your past or not even focusing on what is to come, because what is really important is focusing on what is happening now in this moment. But before we move on, would anyone else like to share something that they struggled with this week? All right. So, as we introduce tonight's topic, which is living at full strength, you would recognize that it ties into what was just being discussed in terms of everyone and overcoming what they were struggling with this week. Because to live at full strength, you really have to be present in each moment if you want to live at full strength. Because if you're not there, you would be missing a lot of the opportunities. And A lot of times you don't fully understand what that truly means. So let me share a post from over the weekend with you so you could understand what I am currently speaking about. So you all can see my screen. Yes, okay. So this is the post. And the post says, everything, everywhere, all at once, working together in harmony to fulfill your every desire, emanating from truth. But are you even there to receive it? Because that is something you really have to ask yourself in terms of, okay, you want this thing and you want that thing and you want to function from full potential, but are you there to even receive what you are asking for at full potential? Are you even currently at full potential? What do you think your full potential is? What do you think full potential is in general? Because a lot of the times you're asking for this thing, you're asking for this thing, but remember, life will reflect life, and life will reflect where you are, and life will reflect your current mindset. Life will reflect what you are in harmony in, because everything begins with you. So if you want to change what is being reflected back to you, are you even ready to make that step to get the full potential? Because a lot of it we really want it, but we only want it in our mind. But when the effort is required, we tend to, well, no, I will put it off until next week, or no, let me put this off, or let me put that off. But even asking for the things that you would like to have, is it something that you are ready to receive in this moment? And what do you think is required for you to really receive it in this moment?
But is it also part of, are you willing to put in the work to
Yeah,
make
the
the
effort.
change
Yep.
and make the effort and do what it takes to come out of that uncomfortable space and into, clarity?
Hmm.
Because a lot of times you could ask and you'll say, okay, well, I could talk about this when in terms of exercising. But you would ask and you'd be like, okay, I know I need to do this, and you start for the first week or second week, and then you think it's like a challenge and
Hmm.
it's too hard to keep pushing forward. And then, it's so easy to fall back into like your comfortable space because you're faced with something that is unknown and you have to put in that extra work. So I think it's really being consistent
Hmm.
and self motivated and really wanting to, make that change for yourself to become a better version of yourself and doing what it takes.
But even in being consistent and self motivated, you have to start from the present moment.
Yeah.
Because if you are trying to be consistent and self motivated from either the past or the future, you would be very frustrated. You would remain stuck, and there would be limited space for growth because you're stuck in a space. Because remember, the attachments that we form, we don't really even understand the extent to which it really affects us in a negative way. Because the attachments that you have formed, trust me, once your mind is in the past or in the future, you're never really at peace. Think about it. Think about the moments when you were just free, and you were in the moment, and you were having fun, and you were just immersed in the present. And then think about you sit down worrying about something that has already gone, or you sitting down worried about the bills that you have to pay for next month. You recognize that you're never really free, you're never really at peace, you're not really neutral. So you're always tense. Because if you're not functioning from the present moment, you would certainly always be tense. Because in the present moment, when you look around you, when you ask yourself the question, what am I doing right now? And start from there. What are you doing? You are currently on a live with befitment. And if you just stay in that space for whatever the period of time is, then you would realize, so this, and I tell you, it is that simple, So every time your mind tries to wander off to yesterday or wander off to tomorrow, you bring yourself back to, I am here right now. I am here right now. What is happening here right now? Because for those of you all who know, when you're trying to cook and then your mind all over the place, how the food just tastes one, and then you always end up burning it. It always, always. And that is why it is important to remain present. And a lot of opportunities are missed when you are not present because you might not be present and the phone rings and you say, there's probably, again, you base it off of a past experience. My sister is always calling this hour, that is probably my sister. When that could be the job calling you that you always wanted, or some solution to some issue that you were asking about and it came. But if you're not here to receive it, you're not there to receive it. And that is why things would keep passing you by over and over and over. And that would also limit you functioning from your full potential. Because in order to function from your full potential, everything must be here and now. Because the past will keep you back and the future will have you frustrated constantly. Because half the things that you're worrying about, they never even happen in the first place. So that is something to really think of in terms of trying to function at your full potential. And go ahead.
So I until you well, you hear things over and over and over, but just have certain times where things just click.
Mhm.
And I think for me, like when you said you have to always focus from the present and not live in the past or the future, that also means that you accept you for who you are. So if you fall down 6 times before, you don't beat yourself up because presently you're here and I'm starting from right where I'm at.
Mhm.
Wow, that really registered with me there because I know like a lot of times I could go back to exercising. That's one of my biggest challenges. And like when you say that is a lot of times you're like, well, I used to and I was doing this and then you start getting frustrated because you start and you stop and you start and you stop. But if you just focus on, okay, I'm here right now, I'm putting in the effort for
Right now.
5 minutes
Yes.
right now.
Yep.
And it's not about tomorrow, what I'll do tomorrow, or what I failed or didn't do in the past, but is about right this very minute, putting in 5 minutes. That was very
Everything.
profound.
Because everything everywhere, just as the post said, remember the post. Let me bring it back up again. So you really understand the depth of what is being said. Because again, sometimes you're living, but you really don't understand the depth. So you're seeing here where it says everything, everywhere, all at once, working together in harmony to fulfill your every desire, emanating from truth. Emanating from truth meaning it is coming from within you, it is not coming from external, it is not coming from you being influenced from whoever. Once it is emanating from truth, everything, everywhere, all at once, always working together in harmony to fulfill your every desire. But are you even there to receive it? That is really the question. Because a lot of times everything is working together in harmony and everything is working together cohesively. But where are you? You really have to start to ask yourself the question, where am I? Because a lot of times you might be sitting here, your body is here, but your mind is on the clothes you have to wash. Your mind is on, of course, I had to get up early in the morning and even iron my clothes. Your mind is on, I have a meeting on Tuesday and I'm not even sure. Da, da, da. Your mind is on your bills that come in at the end of the month. Why are you there? Or why are you even in the past where something happened and somebody did something and you're still thinking about it? And a lot of times when you harboring those feelings, even in this moment, you don't even understand the reach that the energy you are currently carrying is affecting other things. Because again, a lot of times things are affecting us unknowingly, and you are just moving on with life wondering, why am I stuck for so long? Because of the feelings that you're harboring for so long. Because once you harbor feelings, and then even the post, we had a post on Saturday for the B Squad post, which says feelings are merely a guide. Feelings are merely a guide. A guide because they change all the time. You feel one way about this today, you feel another way about it tomorrow. You feel one way about this person today, you might feel another way about them tomorrow. They feel another way about you tomorrow. Why are you setting your feelings in stone? What benefit does that bring to you? It's not bringing any benefit because you're just toting these heavy things with you day after day, month after month, year after year, and just creating wider spaces between you and what you want for yourself. So that is why you really have to start from now, the present moment. All you have is now. All you have is now. You don't have tomorrow, you don't have yesterday. All you currently have is now, and that is where you have to start from. What happened yesterday, all the mistakes, of course, there are no mistakes because everything, there is a lesson in everything. But all the mistakes that you think that you made, at the end of the day, it brought you to this present moment. And even in the mistakes, can you all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Even in the mistakes that you think you have made, there was always a lesson in that to learn. So you are always learning, you are always evolving. But in order to shorten the space between you and what you want, you have to start from where you are currently. That is the only important aspect that you missing all the time. Nothing is in tomorrow. Tomorrow gone. Not tomorrow, sorry, your past gone. Tomorrow is yet to come. But what are you creating for yourself? Are you creating a future full of stress and worry and anxiety? Because at the end of the day, if you're coming to the fitment every week and you're not putting the things into practice, then think about it. What are you really doing? How are you going to improve? How are you going to evolve? How are you going to change? And putting the things into practice don't require a lot of effort. It does not require a lot of effort, you know. A lot of times you're stuck overthinking about how to start this thing. You're overthinking. You just start by starting. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have $1 million. You don't have to be driving a Mercedes Benz. You just start. And when you just start, you make one step and you say, oh, okay, that's not so bad. But if you stay stuck in your mind and you're just spinning things around and around and around and around and around, you would be spinning for the next 5 years. But at the end of the day, the question still lies, what do you want for you? Because when you stay right where you are, sitting where you are, and you look around your environment and you think about your life currently, this is what you have created. Because everything begins with you. So if you would like to see a different reflection, it also starts with you. So you would also know where the effort has to be placed, especially when you think about living at full strength. You will know where the effort has to be placed. Yes, Nicole, I'm seeing that you have your hand raised for a little while.
I just wanted to share an experience that I had, and it was similar to, well, it was based on what you were saying, and the post as well, of everything all together at once. Um, Saturday I was going to bed, right? And before I went to bed, I like to listen to my music. So as I was going to bed, I was like, oh gosh, I think I want a portable speaker. Yes, I have to get a portable speaker. So I went in bed, I bypassed it. So I didn't put anything behind it. At least to me, my knowledge, I didn't put anything behind it. So when I finished bathing, I was like, what to put on? Everything that I put in, I was like, no. And then I made four with one of my jumpsuits, and I was like, that's my good jumpsuit, you know. And then, but I keep making four with it. So I said, well, all right, I'll put it on. Again, because you're hearing, we'll put it on. So when I went now, as we went, I went to one store and then I had to go in grocery. So as I was going to Marabella, the thought came again, go Massy, because I had to go to the next store, but it wasn't time yet. So I was like, okay, I might as well just go Massy. The thought came, go Massy, went Massy. And I was shopping in Massy now. I made four with the carry people. Again, didn't take it on, went. So as I walking through the aisle now, the two carry girls approached me and they was like, hi, good day, we have a promotion. And the promotion is if you buy at least $100 worth, you have a chance to win the things. I say, I want that in your hand, the portable speaker. So I went buy some smalters as we buy the smalter. When I went, they had, the little machine where you just blow up the dollars and you had to collect as much. Me with my small self, I didn't even collect the amount. But at the end of the day, I still end up getting the speaker. They gave me the speaker. And then as I was talking, it reiterated the fact that you have to remain mindful, because any mindfulness was put on this outfit, do this, do that, go Massy, whatever, and you get it. And sometimes we tend to bypass it. Oh, we're paying on this first, right? They are going all right thing, but everything really functioning all at once together, because at home I would have known that I was going to get this weekend. When you function like that, really and truly, time is not the issue because it happened within a span of 2 hours
Mm-hmm.
or less. If I'm being
Mm-hmm.
honest. We said I want a portable speaker and getting a portable speaker for, you can say $100, because we had to buy the smaller.
And if you
And
have
actually
to
pay
order from
$50 too,
online,
because we still got a gift card as well for
exactly. And
people
if you have to
that
order
know.
it, because you could have decided, because listen, guys, Nicola could have decided, you see me, I not going and put on that, I not going on the road today, my phone say rain going and fall, let me check this online and order it. And will have paid hundreds of dollars more to get it done if you decided I am going to make my own way instead of functioning from the flow.
Yeah.
And
So
therein lies the difference. Because if you had reverted back to your default, which is, let me check this on Amazon, or whatever your default is, let me go to the mall instead of, when you said you follow the thought, go to this place, go to this, go to Massy, put this on. And I tell you, it is so
picture too.
simple.
So good thing I put it on, because I still had to take out a picture to show that I win whatever. So good thing I put
Yes.
on the outfit, because
And
then
you were
I would
prepared.
have. So it was all like that, and it just showed that everything really functioning all at once, and just remain in the moment.
That is
When you
all
get the
it is.
instructions, don't overthink it. So they'll be like, well, I accustomed doing this, or
Yes.
the world here to do
Yes.
this. So
Yes.
this is how it will go, because really and truly, we keeping ourselves back
You're
from the
keeping
things that
yourself
we
back.
truly desire when
Yeah.
we decide that we're doing whatever our mind say,
Yep.
and not the instructions that come.
Yep. That really coming from your soul, that connected to everything. And guys, that is how simple it is. And a lot of times we overthink it and create all these scenarios in our mind, and this is going to happen and that is going to happen. But no, I am accustomed doing it like this. But no, my sister had told me to do it like that. But no, I saw on TikTok to do it like this. And you already received your instructions for the day. Because remember, the thing that you want also know you want it, and it knows that it wants you at the same time, because everything is connected. But if you keep choosing your familiar patterns, you would not be able to live at full potential. You have to start from there, because if you're not starting from there, you're wasting your time. And I am telling you, it is so simple. That is how simple it is to either make the effort or remain the same. It is that simple. It is within a split second. That is how simple it is. And that is how simple it is to continue how you are, or that is also how simple it is for you to even make the change. It is that simple. And a lot of times you're overthinking it, and overthinking it, you're realizing now it is not even necessary. Because look at how simple Nicola's example is. And I know for some of you, even thinking back, you would have thought that that is just coincidence, but it is not. Because once you are functioning connected and you are following the wisdom as it comes, because of course your soul is connected for everything, and in this Scola's instance you recognize this is the clear demonstration of your soul is the map. So that was Nicola following the map in the moment. So imagine if she had spoke to somebody else and the person, somebody else says, so why you didn't do this instead? And had she have done that and go outside of the mapping, would she have received what she really wanted to receive? No. Or if somebody had called her and say, hey, can you go with me this place or can you go with me that place? No. And I tell you, that is how easy to we get distracted. And you find like you're not achieving anything. But what are you being obedient to? You're following the instructions of your soul, or you're following the noise when the noise comes. Because the noise is there. The noise is part of life. The noise is part of your existence. You have to practice being focused. You have to practice setting your clear intentions. And setting your clear intention is as simple as I want a portable speaker. It is not rocket science. A lot of times you're stuck in overthinking mode. And it is this simple. And this is what befitment is really here to show you, that there is another way to live. And the another way to live, it is simple. Once you put in the effort and you practice it, then it becomes one with you. Because just like how you put in the effort and you practice the bad habits, you can put in the same effort and practice better habits for yourself. I don't know if you all realize we are now, let me tell you what week we at. 52 weeks for the year. We are now at week 35. Imagine that. We are now at week 35. And 35 is not very far from 52. And then we setting the same resolutions again, or are we setting new resolutions? But again, the choice is really up to you at the end of the day.
Oh, Dan, I just wanted to add as well, because thinking back, even during the day, I know I had to go on the road and I was going on the road earlier. And then I got instructed to go about 5 o'clock, 5:30. So I never believe any time that I would have got the instructions for
Exactly.
early. So even in the day before I even asked for the speaker, the universe already know that I was going to ask for the speaker and get the speaker.
Yep. And that is another thing we do a lot. We procrastinate. If everything is existing now, how can you put it off for tomorrow? How can you put it off for next week? How can you put it off for next month? Would it be there for you, you to receive it? No, it went to somebody else. Somebody else would have come and get the speaker. Because you did not move at the time that you were supposed to move. And you see, all of these things limiting you being able to function at full potential. All of these little things, the distractions, the procrastinating, the overthinking. Once you stay stuck in that mode, you would stay in that space for years. Yes. And it is simple as you making up your mind. No, today I am starting whatever it is, and then you take the steps. But again, guys, this starting whatever it is, whatever your journey is. I know Lisa, initially, she was talking about exercise, and whatever your journey is, whatever is the goal, whatever you want to achieve. If you make these small steps, just as you set your intention, just as Nicola set her intention, remember, everything is listening to you. You're thinking you're alone in the room? No. Everything is connected. Physically and spiritually, everything is connected. The only thing sometimes not connected is us because our mind all over the place. But if you take the time to quiet yourself, you would recognize how connected you are. And then you would be able to really command what you want in your life and create the world that you want to enjoy. But if you are not here to receive it, remember this. If you are not here to receive it, and what I mean by that is you set your intention, but your mind tied to the past or the future because of your attachments that you have formed. So you are not there to receive it. So when your soul saying go left, your mind saying no, we are accustomed going right, so let us stay here. And what does your mind function with? Your ego. So when you're ready, look at it in the grand scheme of things. Who is keeping you back? Nobody is keeping you back, you know. Sometimes you're keeping back yourself because of the distractions. You're keeping back yourself because of the overthinking. You're keeping back yourself because of the procrastination. You are keeping back. You remember everything starts and everything also ends with you. So if you get up and you decide, today is the day that I am going to start to, and you fill in the blanks, that is when it would start. But remember, you have to remain conscious. You have to remain conscious in order to receive what you are asking for. So you might be waiting for the rain, waiting for the rain, waiting for the rain. And the rain might start to fall, but you watching a movie with your headphones on, and do you know rain falling outside? Because you have blackout curtains in your room. Or even as before the rain started to fall, you probably heard turn off the headphones, or you know, of course, we love to binge watch. So you're probably binge watching something with the headphones. You don't want no distraction. So you probably heard take one of the headphones out, or just go and get a drink of water. And you say, no, 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 let me just finish watching this episode. Rain probably falling for 2 hours, because you know when we binge watching for hours in front of a TV. Again, where is your consciousness? Where is your conscious awareness? What is it tied to? So remember, if you're trying to function from full potential, you really have to function from the present moment. If you're not there, you will not be there, and you would be having the same experience over and over and over again for the rest of your life. And I know it sounds very crass to some, but it is certainly the truth. It is certainly the truth. And you also, as an individual, if you know that this is something you would like to achieve, why not put the effort into achieving it? Why is it so easy to put the effort into helping someone else? If someone else needs help, you drop everything and you run to that person. But when it comes to you, you would sit down, you would procrastinate, you would overthink, and then you would do nothing about it. So why not just place that same effort elsewhere? The same amount of time you're taking to scroll on your phone, it could be the same amount of time you spent researching your business idea that has been swirling around in your head for months. Where is your effort currently being placed? Because you scrolling on your phone is not going to help you. It is not. In terms of living at full strength, it is not. It is not going to help you. And what does it take for you to really make that first step? When you really think about it, what does it really take for you to make that first step? To really live at full strength? What does it take? You would know what full strength is for you. But what does it really take? What is the efforts? And why are you not making this step? Is it that you're not confident in it? Is it that you don't think that you're resilient enough? What is it that is really keeping you back from living at full strength? Are you all there?
I'm still
Anastasia, are
there.
you there? Mm-hmm.
So you said what
So
is
you said
keeping
what is yes.
what is keeping
What
us
is
in?
keeping us?
Yes, what is really keeping you back?
Yes, we hear. We hear. There's plenty things to think about, you know.
Okay. Oh, I just
Okay. That's why we quiet. We have to go into deep thought. What is really keeping us back?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I understand because I'm just making sure that you all are still with me because I realize I am not getting a lot of, feedback. I'm just making sure you all still there. But you see, this topic is really a lot of food for thought because when you really think about living at your full strength or potential, a lot of times, well, sometimes some people think about it in the sense of feeling guilty in terms of I living at my full potential and I feeling guilty that other people who are close to me or whoever you consider, they're not doing the same thing. But remember, and you living at your full potential, if you want to learn how to be a farmer, are you going to go to a carpenter? Are you going to go to a mechanic? Are you going to go to a doctor? Are you going to go to a lawyer? You're not going to go to that person. You're going to go to whoever is a specialist in that field. And how do they become the specialist in that field? They become the specialist in that field from practice. The farmer learns from practicing, from trying new things, from adapting as the seasons change, from adapting as the crops might change, from adapting as the nutrients in the earth might change. But why do you think that you have to remain the same? I want to stay here. I'm not moving. How is that benefiting you? I would like to know for anyone who have decided I would like to stay right here and I'm not moving. How has that benefited your life?
I think even if you of yourself say I'm staying here and I'm not moving, you are not even aware of the changes that's happening in you because we could never stay stagnated. If you're stagnated and you're not moving, that means you have no breath, you have no life in you. So even if you think you're not changing, you are changing. You might be left behind in certain instances with certain situations or whatever, but there's always a change in you, even if it's a subtle change. Nothing stays the same.
And everything around you is constantly changing and moving along. Everything is constantly changing and moving along. Whether you have decided to move with it or not, whether you have decided to embrace life as it is or not, whether you have decided to accept what is or not, life is going to continue to flow past you. If you decide I am staying here, I'm not changing. And then you would look out and you would recognize, wow, this person is evolving, this person is adapting. And again, and in these instances is where the comparisons come in, and with the comparisons comes the frustration, and with the frustration comes the anger, and with the anger After everything settles comes the stress, anxiety, and depression. But again, at the end of the day, everybody, remember, we have the same opportunities, but in different ways to practice what we are learning. Because when I am telling you, the opportunities certainly come for you to practice what you have been learning. But what are you practicing? Are you practicing what you have been practicing and have not been working for the past 10 years, or are you practicing something new? Because 9 out of the 10 times you're practicing the same thing that has not been working for the past 10 years. But because it is familiar and because it is comfortable and because I am accustomed to it, again, I am staying right here. How has that been working out for you? And if it is not working out for you, why do you keep making the same choice? What do you want for your life? What is your intention? How can you be authentic? How can you live at full strength? How can you really create deeper connections? How can you live in full freedom?
I think for the people, I can't not for you can't speak on behalf of everybody for, but for the majority of, well, for some people, people who haven't been fortunate enough to learn the things that you learn and be fitment, or there are other institutions, other ways that people get the same information. But for people outside of that, I'm not even sure if they are aware that they are not changing, in the sense that a lot of times we tend to point finger and blame and never look within ourselves and understand that things are moving, we are not changing, and it's not anybody else's responsibility or blame or anything to help you to make that change. Like, you have to make that conscious effort to want to change, because, like, especially like in this coming to this country, you hear a lot of things about, like, y'all came here and you took our jobs and y'all do this and y'all do that and y'all do that, instead of saying, well, okay, we all have the same opportunity. Why did you not, use the opportunity? We tend to just point finger and blame a lot, instead of just holding ourselves accountable for not wanting to make the change for whatever reason, fear, doubt, self confidence, you know. So sometimes we for some people, they don't even know.
Yeah. But you see, again, once you, again, it starts with you deciding to make a different choice. You have to come to the decision that, okay, enough is enough, because at the end of the day, everything starts and ends with you. And whatever you are currently experiencing is what is coming from within and what is being reflected back to you. I know it is something, sometimes it goes over a lot of person's head. But again, this is the opportunity for you. If you're experiencing something, you don't want to experience it, you want to experience different things in your life, then that is what you have to create. That is what you have to focus on. And in focusing on it and ensuring that you are not distracted and remaining in the present moment, that is where you would receive, just as the demonstration from Nicola, I want a portable speaker. But if you find yourself where you want something, then you change your mind, then you have doubt about it, then did Nicola say she had doubt, fear? No, she just say, I want a portable speaker. End of story. And within less than 2 hours, she had a portable speaker. But if you're setting your intention with doubt and fear, because I tell you, it is in these simple examples that is where life presents the opportunity for you to put into practice what befitment has been saying week after week after week after week. But again, when the opportunity comes, what are you doing with the opportunity? Are you continuing to make the same choices when the opportunities are coming to really challenge you, to really build your resilience, to really assist you in practicing living at full strength? What are you really doing with the opportunity? Because I would also like to read, I know we started with the post, but I would also like to read the balance, well, not the balance, but part of the write up for that post. Of course, we all know this is the Be by Befitment app. We have a lot of different categories. So, whatever you are struggling with, you could feel free. So, this is the post we just clicked on, which is overthinking. Let me just read it again. Everything, everywhere, all at once, working together in harmony to fulfill your every desire emanating from truth. But are you even there to receive it? So, of course, there is the story at first, and then we have the write up. So, we're starting from the question is, are you home to receive it? Or are you, like so many of us, standing just behind the door, ear pressed to the wood, over analyzing the knock? Is that a confident knock or a tentative one? What does that rhythm imply about the contents? Did I order the right thing? What if it's not what I expected? What if I open it and it requires me to change? What if this delivery interrupts the very careful, constructive narrative of suffering I've been curating? Let me reread that question. What if this delivery interrupts the very careful, constructive narrative of suffering I've been curating? This is the exquisite torture of the modern mind. We are so busy deconstructing the melody of the symphony that we forget to simply listen. Remember also Nicola's example in this. Put this on, go to this place. So let the music move through us. We have become ghosts at our own feast. And again, just as Nicola's example, the feast was already laid for her. The speaker was there, just waiting on her to arrive. But if you were not there, if your conscious awareness was not there to receive it, then you would have certainly become a ghost at your own feast. The banquet of the present moment is laid out, a culmination of all that has conspired to bring us here. And we are in the kitchen worrying if the wine pairs with the main course or mentally drafting a review of a meal we haven't even yet tasted. The harmony of everything, everywhere, all at once cannot be received by a self that is also trying to be everywhere, all at once, lost in the archives of past regret or anxious mapping a thousand possible futures. You, as the receiver, must be present, singular, here. So that is what I wanted to read for you from the app. I know everybody a little quiet here, but it's just not a little, it is a lot of food for thought. And it is just to show you what's for you to even ask yourself the question, where are you living from? What does it require? What is required for you to really live at your full potential? Why are you not making the first step? Because again, the banquet laid, and just waiting on you to just show up and receive what you're asking for. Are you all there?
Yes.
Just making sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Just making sure because I know that everybody is really, really, really in quiet. And even when you think about and you see the example Nicola stated is really what living at your full potential, that is where it starts. That is where it starts. By staying in the present moment and functioning from there. So if you are sitting here, I am sitting here, I am fully engaged, I am attending Befitments Live. The topic is authenticity, living at full strength. So you get up tomorrow and you ask yourself the question, self, what is required for you today? Self might say, put on a jumper, go to Massey and receive your portable speaker. And that is where it really starts from. And it is that simple. It is just about following the instructions when the instructions come. If Nicola had decided I will go tomorrow, the persons would not have been there for her to receive what she has been asking for. Another thing you have to take into consideration is time. We always think we have time to do it tomorrow, we have time to do it next week, we have time to do it next month. What are you currently experiencing now? When does now exist? Now exists now. So even as you approach this week again, take the opportunities to put things into practice. Take the opportunities to put things into practice.
Hmm.
Did Nicola's example sound extremely difficult to anyone when nah really I cannot, this is too much. I cannot do this. This is overwhelming. I am feeling stressed. Was the
No,
example too much for anyone to even think about attempting?
no, it was not. It was not.
Um,
You really
you
have
know, like,
to,
Wait, just 1 minute, Anastasia. Yes, Catherine, go ahead.
you really have to stay focused because my system has been, it's not a question of me being quiet tonight. It's I've been knocked. I just keep seeing on my phone, your connection is lost, your connection is lost. And several times I say, you know what? All right, let me just log out and then someone says, no, you want to be here, stay with it. Just stay with it. It has got to turn around in your favor. Just stay with it. So here I am. So, and I didn't hear Nicola's example tonight, but I heard it when we arrived. And you really have to just go with that little voice. There is no other word for it because
Hmm?
it is in the time we take to question and doubt that the everything goes away for us. Everything goes away for us. Even and everything is really tied up. Everything is connected because in Nicola's example, something as simple as what you go to wear. You know, you might tell yourself, well, I don't think, but even the clothes, even the when you go, how you go, where you go, everything is connected. And I remember looking at the post, that post that you read out of Dana, I remember seeing it this weekend and saying, wow. And then just now, and again, when you read, and what stood out for me is the harmony is playing, but are you even in the hall?
Yeah.
And I'm saying, goodness gracious, because it doesn't have to be something big. It's something very small that moves us away from what we want to get, something really, really small. It's not fireworks and all of that. It's just that one unguarded moment that just puts in the doubt, and before long, you just, everything is lost.
Yeah.
So it really is, even if it's not completely lost, it's lost in that moment. And then getting back to where you need to go is like having to go around the whole Queen's Park Savannah.
Hmm.
If you miss the turn off to go to St. Anne's when you come over the Lady Young, it's a question of you have to now go around the whole savannah. And anything could happen to you going around the savannah because you were not on where you're supposed to be. So it really is quite small things that you have to help. Just stay present.
Yes.
Just stay present.
And even as Catherine has just explained, sometimes you have to go around the whole savannah. If you have to go around the whole savannah, accept it quick. Because sometimes you say, oh gosh, I have to go around the whole savannah. If rain go and fall, and then you start a whole new overthinking cycle. Get yourself back to, okay, I have to go around the whole savannah. Where am I? I am here. I have to go around the whole savannah. That is it. The end. Do not send yourself back down the rabbit hole. After go around the whole savannah, after use more gas. If I get you know how our mind tends to stray. And the last time my friend told me she had to go around the savannah, she get robbed. And the last time somebody else I saw on TikTok, they went around the savannah and they burst the tire. And the last time somebody went around the savannah, they got a ticket from the police. And you carry all these things with you and you go around the savannah and you attract all those three things all at once. Because everything working together. So life decide, okay, this is what is on her mind. Let me stand it for her. And you keep amplifying the negativity, and the negativity keeps finding you. And the negativity going and bring everybody else to assist you to achieve what is currently spinning in your head. Because that is why, as I explained before, life reflects life. Like also reflects like. So that is what is in your mind. Life said, well, that is what she likes, so send more for her. And then you're in one space, repeatedly, constantly experiencing depression, stress, and anxiety, and you don't know why. It starts and it ends with you. So where are you? Whenever you start to feel stressed throughout the day, stop and ask yourself the question, where am I? Whenever, now remember this, whenever you start to feel stressed or overwhelmed or anxiety throughout the day, stop and ask the question, where am I? And then start from that point. Yes, Anastasia, I know you were about to say something.
And that is what I wanted to say. As soon as you're feeling stressed and overwhelmed, know that you're not going with the flow. You're fighting the flow. You're
Yeah.
going against the current. And that is what is causing.
That is what
At least I
caused.
recognize that for me.
Yes. Yeah. Because whereas that is what causes it, what would happen is that we decide, well, this is what it is, and again we sit and we stew and we stew and we stew and we stew and we stew. And a pot that is boiling on the stove and the bubbles is increase, right? So if you sit with a particular energy, that is what will be transmitted out into the universe on your behalf. What you receive after that will also be received from the universe on your behalf. Where are you and what are you transmitting? Start from there. If I know I am in a negative space right now, okay, you're in a negative space right now. Does the negative space have to last for a month? Does the negative space have to last for a week? Can you reduce the size of the negative space? Can you go and take a walk outside? Can you go and drink some water? Can you go and probably exercise? Can you walk out of the room that you're currently in? Walk out into nature? Try to limit the size of your negative space. Because remember, the longer you stay in that state, is the more time expanding between you and what you want to achieve. The space is just getting wider and wider and wider. Because in order to achieve what you want to achieve, you have to also be functioning in harmony with everything, even the things that you don't like. Because they were sent to assist you along the way, even though you don't like it. So, are you even functioning in harmony with the things that you don't like? Are you accepting them quickly? Or are you taking 2 years to accept that this is what it is? And then it takes you 2 more years to achieve what you really need to achieve, because you take 2 years to accept. And now in total, it takes you 4 years to achieve what you want to achieve. When if you had accepted it within 2 hours, you get your speaker like Nicola. The only person you are affecting is yourself. In the grand scheme of things, the only person you are really affecting is yourself and the life that you would like to experience. You are not affecting anybody else. You might think that you are affecting somebody else, but in the grand scheme of things, you are only affecting yourself. What do you want to see? What do you want to achieve? And if you would like to live at your full strength, your full potential, it starts with the little steps. What are some of the small steps that you are making towards your journey? What are some of the different choices that you are making? If you are making the same choices, expect the same results, pull out your book and just rewrite your resolutions for the past 3 years, because that is what you're going to get. That is the same resolutions you're going to have moving forward. Make up your mind, this is what it is. If you want a different result, you have to make a different choice. You have to practice new things. If you do not want to practice new things, you do not want different results, then when the challenges continue to come, you have the same results. It is what it is. Do we have any questions before we move on to the schedule for this week?
No.
Are you all okay? I find you all are really quiet tonight. I'm not asking it again. I'm just making sure
Good,
that you all are
good
okay.
evening, everyone.
Good evening. How are you?
I am doing awesome. Off from a busy weekend, busy entire weekend.
Okay.
I know you asked the question several times. Even for me, as I'm listening, I'm like, yeah, this is deep stuff. So I think we're just reflecting, at least for me, I'm reflecting on all these things and hearing the question and kind of processing it in terms of what's holding me.
Mm-hmm.
And there's so many answers to that. But I think for the most part, it boils down to ego, that fear that is at the root cause being the ego, that fear of failure. I know sometimes there's talk about fear of success, but for me, I think more of fear of failure. What will that look like? I think it's easier to cheer others sometimes
Yes.
and have them succeed, because there's no risk on that, right? You cheer them, they don't succeed. That's okay. You still have the most.
Wait. Let me just interject there. You said there is no risk in that, but what is the risk for you? Is it a risk, or is it the lessons to learn that you need along your journey?
No, what I'm saying is that it's not a healthy behavior. I'm saying as we process it, like if I cheer you on, you don't succeed,
Mm-hmm.
people are not gonna reflect on me. I'm not gonna feel bad how people gonna perceive me, right? At
Mm-hmm.
the end of it, it's a fear that is not grounded on in reality, right?
Yeah.
Why we're not
Yeah.
ourselves, why we're not doing the things we need to do. So a lot of the things you were saying requires that we do a lot of thinking, a
Yeah.
lot of processing, but a lot of change of behavior, because we know it intellectually, it makes sense. But how do we get off our phone, for example, and do exercise or read a book or improve ourselves? And I would also say kudos for to those of us who make the time to be here, because we know this is not an easy conversation. At the least, I hope that we exercise some grace toward ourselves, because we know we need to do better, and we create in this time to come here to listen, to learn, and hopefully to go from this exercise. So believe me, you are not speaking in vain. I am learning, and I am kind of processing and internalizing some of these things with the hope of actualizing them. So I appreciate this time.
Yes, 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 yes. And even again, as I tell you all week after week, the Mondays are, of course, the tip of the iceberg. And the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays is where a lot of the detail is really discussed. So even if you have questions about moving from step one to step two, that is really where the solutions, the practical, for those who are there, you know that the Thursdays are the Thursdays are the practical sessions. So whatever questions you may have, you come with your questions. Because I know we start the discussion on Monday, but the depth and the detail is really Tuesday, Wednesday, Tuesday. So let me let you know for this week. Oh, sorry, I'm seeing that Catherine has her hand raised. Yes.
I just wanted to say really that for those who have been on the podcast since we started, if you remember, there was a particular format when we started. That is the same format that you experience on a Tuesday, Wednesday,
Wednesday, yes,
Thursday.
yes, yes.
Just in case you're wondering if it's this identical format, the format that you experienced when first started, that format is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So when Adana says we dive deeply and walk with your questions for real clarification, this is what she is referring to. Because on a Monday evening, we really sitting on the surface when compared to Tuesday, Wednesday, and even Thursday ramps up
Yeah,
even more than Tuesday and Wednesday. So really join those sessions in
yes.
addition to this one.
And if some persons they still, I don't know, they're not ready to change as yet, I would just leave it as that. Are not ready to change as yet and practice. And if you would just like the opportunity for 7 days, let me show you where you can go to apply for the 7 day session. Before you say, well, I'm not sure if I really want to commit to this, you know. So let me show you where to go in the app. So you are going to the flow zone. So you're seeing mood, the dashboard, flow zone. Now on your phone, these um, buttons would be down to the bottom. So you're going to flow zone, and then, okay, let me just, right. So you would see this when you go to the flow zone, and then you are going to here, 7 day pass premium membership. If you would like to access this, you are clicking on this button right here. Tap here to get access now, and you would be able to claim your 7 day pass premium membership, where you would get the group fitness activities, the mindset mastery, the goal achievement. So, of course, there is no commitment, no credit card, just 7 days to see what your best self really feels like. Tap in, level up. This pass won't be forever, single use only. Again, if you would like to, it have a lot of buttons here. So you could start your journey here, you could click on here. If you want to reach out to us before, you could click on this button below. So feel free. And once it is activated, you have 7 days to access it. So let me let you know what the schedule is for this week. So today, of course, we discuss authenticity, living at full strength. And tomorrow, Tuesday, the 26th, from 10, we have counseling and consultations. And then from 6 p.m., we have breaking through the illusions. So, unlearning inherited beliefs and societal scripts. Let me read that again for you all. Tomorrow from 6 p.m., we have breaking through the illusions, where we would be discussing unlearning inherited beliefs and societal scripts, because we know a lot of the things that we are experiencing is because of societal norms and beliefs that have passed down from generation to generation that are not even working for some of us, but yet we hold on to them very tight. On Wednesday from 10, we have counseling and consultations again, and from 6 p.m., we would be discussing how to craft your own narrative, owning and shaping the story you tell about yourself. So, again, if it is something that you are interested in, because remember, guys, just as I said earlier, you are starting from where you are. So, first, we would be talking about how important it is to really unlearn some of the things that you hold. And then on Wednesday, we would start to discuss how to own and shape the story again, how you want to create your world, what you want your experience to be. Then on Thursday, we have counseling and consultations again. And from 6, we would be discussing how to increase abundance through service. How serving others enhances your own growth. And then from 7, we have the Fuel and Flex full body workout. And I didn't mention it. We have it both on Tuesday and Thursday. On Friday, we have counseling and consultations. And from 5, we have Free to Be, where we celebrate, relax, restore, and unwind. If you would like to come to the Balance Center, please make an appointment. On Saturday, for those who are in Trinidad, and as I say again, do not stress yourself too much. We would be in a country near you very soon. Some of us are currently in Tobago. So do not worry. We would certainly be in a country near you very soon. And we would be going to the 100 Steps Beach in just after Las Cuevas. So if you want to relax, be free, have fun, feel free to bring a friend. If you would like transport, the cost is $150. We will be meeting at Grand Bazaar for 9 a.m. So if you are interested, you can WhatsApp 100 to our contact number 336-1809 for more information. And of course, for the Genius Goals question, it would be posted at 9 p.m. And again, for the persons, I know these days, and I know that you all could tell me, the question is a bit more in-depth, because you would recognize we are no longer at a particular level, because of course we all have to elevate, we all have to grow and develop. So that is why the questions are structured the way that they are. And it is really about helping you understand you. And in you understanding you, that would also help you build and really start to function at your full strength. And that is really the reason why the questions are structured the way that they are right now. Because everything is ready to help you become the best version of you. That is what it is. You becoming the best version of yourself each and every day. But in order to get there, of course, you have to put in the effort and you have to practice it. So guys, thank you very, very much for logging on to this evening session. Next week, Monday, is a holiday. So we would not be on. So we would see you on the 8th of August. So even after tonight's discussion, you have a lot of things.
September.
Yes,
September.
sorry. I said August. Sorry. Yes, the 8th of September. I apologize. So see you all on the 8th of September. You have ample time to practice. I know we're not on a Monday, but you could certainly join us Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday if you are interested. Feel free to reach out. You can reach out via the app. And just as everything that was read a little earlier, you realize that the app also has a lot of food for thought. So, whatever you might be experiencing or struggling with, feel free to check out the app every day. It is also a great source of support and assistance to help you through whatever you may be experiencing. For the persons who are still in the Genius Goals competition, keep it up. I hope that you will carry me with you in December. I am still asking and hoping to be in St. Vincent and the Grenadines sipping on a Mai Tai on a beach. Hopefully, we would see how it goes. Guys, have a wonderful night. Do not forget, when the opportunities come to practice, practice. When the opportunities come to practice, practice something new. Do not practice what you have already been practicing that is not working. Practice something new. Okay? So we will see how it goes on the 8th. Have a wonderful 2 weeks. Have a wonderful night. And see you all on the 8th of September. Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Good night.
Right.
Right, bye.